Shanti, 1st of March 2025. Morning Murli, Dada Madhuban. Essence, sweet children, the words loving and non-loving belong to this family path. Your love now is only for the one Father. Your children constantly stay in remembrance of the Father. Question: what other name could you give to this pilgrimage of remembrance? Answer: this pilgrimage of remembrance is a pilgrimage of love. Those who have non-loving intellects have the bad odor of being trapped in someone's name and form. Their intellects become tamopradhan. Those who love the one Father alone will continue to donate this knowledge. They wouldn't have love for any bodily being. Song: this time is passing by. Om Shanti. The Father explains to you children. Now this can be called the pilgrimage of remembrance and also the pilgrimage of love. People go on those pilgrimages. They go on a pilgrimage to a creation. There are wisest creators. No one knows the Creator. You now know the Father, the Creator. You must never come to a halt in your remembrance of that Father. You have found the pilgrimage of remembrance. It can be called the pilgrimage of remembrance or the pilgrimage of love. Those who have great love will stay on this pilgrimage very well. The more you stay on this, continue to become pure. God Shiva speaks. Some have non-loving intellect at the time of destruction and some have loving intellect at the time of destruction. You children know that this is now the time of destruction. That same episode of the Gita is now being enacted. Baba has shown you the contrast between the Gita of Sri Krishna and the Gita of Trimurti Shiva. Now, who is the God of the Gita? There are the versions of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva. The word Shiva must not be written by itself because many have the name Shiva. Therefore, when you write the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, he is seen as the Supreme. No one else would call himself. The Supreme Father, Sannyasi says of themselves, Sivoham, I am Shiva. They are not able to remember the Father. They don't even know the Father. They have no love for the Father. The expressions loving and non-loving applies to this family path. Some children's intellects are loving to the Father, whereas others have non-loving intellects. It is even like this amongst you too. The ones who have love for the Father remain engaged in doing service. They wouldn't have love for anyone but the Father. They say to Shiv Baba, Baba, I am your helper and yours alone. There is no question of Brahma in this. The souls who love Shiv Baba would definitely become his helpers. They will continue to do service with Shiv Baba. When they have no love, it means they become non-loving. A non-loving intellect is led to destruction. Those who love the Father would definitely become his helpers. They will help in doing service to the extent they have love. Since others have no remembrance, they have no love. Therefore, they have love for bodily beings. People give sovereignties to others in order to be remembered by them. They are definitely remembered. The Father is now giving you children the gift of the imperishable jewels of knowledge, through which you attain your sovereignty. You donate these imperishable jewels of knowledge, this knowledge, and so you have loving intellects. You know that the Father has come to benefit everyone and that you also have to become his helpers. Such souls with loving intellects are virtuous. Those who don't have any remembrance do not have loving intellect. If you have love for the Father, you would remember him and your sins would be absolved. You would also show others the path of benefit to them. Amongst you Brahmins, children too, everything depends on whatever you are loving or non-loving. If you remember the Father more and more, it means that you have love for the Father. The Father says, "Remember me constantly. Become by my helpers." The creation should only remember the one Father, the Creator. No creation should be remembered. No one in the wood knows who the Creator is, nor do they remember him. Sannyasis remember the Brahm element, but that too is anything you can see with your eyes is part of creation. What you cannot see is the creation, the Father. There are images of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. So they too are part of creation. At the top of the picture that Baba has taught you to make, you must write. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, Trimurti God Shiva, the Supreme Father speaks, although someone might call himself God. He cannot call himself the connected in yoga to Shiv Baba and not consider yourselves to be bodiless souls and remember me, the Father. The service you do all depends on whether you are loving or non-loving. When you have deep love, you do the Father's service very well and you would then be called victorious. When there is no love, you won't do any service, and your status is then also returned. A request status means that you destroy your high status. In fact, everything will be destroyed but this especially applies to being loving or non-loving. The Creator Father is one alone. It is said to him, salvation to the Supreme Soul, Shiva. The birthday of Shiva, Jayanti, is celebrated. You would never have heard of the birthday of Sakar. The name Prajapita Brahma is also well known. The birthday of Vishnu is not celebrated. It is Sri Krishna's birthday that is created. No one even knows what the difference is between Sri Krishna and Vishnu. Human beings have non-loving intellects at the time of direction. So, amongst you too, there are loving and non-loving intellects. The Father says, this spiritual business of yours is very good. Ignore yourself in doing this service and day and night. The evening time between 6 and 7 p.m. is said to be good. Spiritual gatherings are held in the morning and also in the evening. At night, the whole atmosphere become bad. At night, all souls go into silence. That is called sleep. Then they wake up in the morning. It is said, O mind, remember Rama in the early morning hours. The Father has told you children, remember me, your father, only when Shiv Baba enters a body can he say, remember me and your sins will be absolved. You children know how much you remember the Father and how much spiritual service you do. Give everyone this introduction. Consider yourselves to be a soul and remember the Father, and you will become Satopradhan from Tamopradhan. The alloy will be removed. There is also a practice in having a loving intellect. If you don't have love for the Father, there must definitely be love for your own body or for your friends and relatives, etc. If there is love for the Father, you will remain engaged in doing service. If there isn't love for the Father, you will not engage yourself in doing service. It is very easy to explain to someone the significance of Alpha and Beta. They remember him and say, O God, O Supreme Soul. But they don't know him at all. Baba has explained that you must definitely write. The Supreme Father, Trimurti God Shiva, speaks at the top of every picture, and then no one will be able to say anything. You children are now planting your speakling. So everyone this path so that they come and claim their inheritance from the Father. They don't know the Father and so they don't have loving intellect. People have become absolutely tamopradhan as sins have continued to increase. Those who have a great deal of remembrance have love for the Father. They are the ones who have golden aged intellect. If your intellects wander in other directions, you will remain tamopradhan. Even though you may be sitting in front of Baba, if you don't have remembrance, you would not be called one with a loving intellect. The sink of a loving intellect is remembrance. Such souls will imbibe this knowledge and also have mercy for others by telling them, "Remember the Father and you will become pure." It is very easy to explain this to anyone. Only to his children does the Father give the inheritance of the sovereignty of heaven. Shiv Baba must definitely have come there. This is why the birthday of Shiva is celebrated. Krishna, Rama, etc. have also all been and gone. That is why their birthdays are celebrated. They also remember Shiv Baba because he comes and gives the sovereignty of the world to the children. No one new would understand these things. How does God come and give the inheritance? They have absolutely stone intellects. They don't even have the intelligence to have remembrance. The Father himself says, "You have been my lovers for half a cycle. I have now come. You have been wandering alone so much on the path of devotion, but none of you found God. You children now understand that the Father come in Bharat and sound you the path of liberation and liberation in life." Sri Krishna does not show this path. The Father comes and teaches the people of Bharat how to love God. He only comes in Bharat where they celebrate the birthday of Shiva. You children know that God is the highest on high. His name is Shiva. This is why you write that the birthday of Shiva is as valuable as a diamond. All others' birthday are as worthless as shells. Some people get upset when you write this. Therefore, when you write God Shiva speaks on every picture, you will remain safe. Some children don't understand accurately and so they get disturbed. The aspect of Maya first attacked the intellect. It breaks the yoga of their intellects away from the Father. Through this, they fall from the top right to the bottom. The yoga of their intellects become trapped in bodily being, which means that such souls have become non-loving to the Father. You have to have love for the one unique, bodiless Father. It is damaging to love bodily beings. If the yoga of your intellects breaks away, you fall right down. This is an eternally previously drama. but it still has to be explained. When someone's intellect is non-loving, it is as though there is a bad odor of being trapped in the name and form of another. Otherwise, the soul would stay engaged in doing service. Baba explained very clearly yesterday that the main thing is who is the God of the Gita. This is through this that you become vultures. You ask them, who is the God of the Gita? Is it Shiva or Sri Krishna who gives happiness? It is Shiva who gives happiness. Therefore, you should vow for him. He is the one who is prized now. Give as you vowed on who the God of the Gita is. Those who vow for Shiva would be called the ones with loving intellect. This is a great election. All of these clever methods will enter the intellect of those who keep churning the ocean of this knowledge throughout the day. Some children sulk as they move along. One moment they have love, and the next moment their love is broken. They sulk. They stop having remembrance when they become upset. They don't even write a letter, which means that they have no love. Therefore, Baba too would not write a letter to them of 6 to 8 months. Baba is the death of all deaths. Dharmaraj is also with him. If you don't have time to remember the Father, what status would be attained? Your status would be destroyed. In the beginning, Baba told you about your status with great tact. Those children are no longer here. The rosary had to be created once again. Baba will continue to praise those who are serviceable, those who are to become emperors would say that their equals should also become like them, that they too should also rule a kingdom like us. A king is known as an entire bestower of food, and a mother and father. The mother here is called Jagadamba. You receive limitless treasures from her. You have to climb a high status by making effort. Day by day, you children will find out what each one will become. When you do service, the Father will remember you. You should the Father remember you if you don't use service. The Father remembers the children who have loving intellects. Baba has also explained that when you wear anything given to you by someone, you will definitely remember that one. When treasures stored, you will only remember Shiv Baba. Baba himself shares him experience. There definitely is remembrance, Therefore, you must not keep anything that has been given to you by anyone else. Acha. To your sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for Dharana. First, let your true love in the heart be for the one unique, bodiless Father. Constantly pay attention so that no aspect of Maya can attract your intellects. Second, never sulk with the Father. Remain serviceable and make your fortune elevated. Don't keep anything that has been given to you by others. Blessing. May you be constantly virtuous and free from obstacles and make the forest strong by using the method of cleanliness in order to for every soul to become victorious and free from obstacles in this forest. Have programs for yoga everywhere at the same particular times. No one will then be able to cut this bond, even though the more you continue to increase doing service, the more Maya will try to make you belong to her. Therefore, just as you have cleanliness, whereas whenever you being any task, in the same way, all of you elevated souls should have the one pure thought of being victorious. By your using this method of cleanliness, the forest will become strong. Slogan. The instant and practical fruit of doing Yukti Yukt and accurate service is happiness. Om Shanti.